Hello, today I want to talk to you about something very important. Let's start with my own experience. This last month, I've been dealing with negative emotions like I feel rejected, I feel, I don't know, lonely, things like that. And it's all that are all the emotions because they come back from very far, a lot of years ago. And I realized that they were just like, deep down, I couldn't really see them. I managed to make do without looking at them. And for some reasons, they've been reactivated the last month. And I have to deal with them now. And I really want to go through them and to change really that, not to just make do with. And for that, I decided I had to create a much better life than my old stories were telling me. Okay, and so I'm really making a lot of things, a lot of practice to focus my mind on a better story and to create that. And in a way, that's happening pretty well. Not as quickly as I would like. And for that, I'm always digging more and more on what prevents me from changing everything right now. And I realize there is one thing: if you want to change your stories, your emotions, and in a way your life, how you behave, how you perceive things, what you're looking at, and your whole life is going to change. And for that, you have to live in another life, basically. Okay, everything is the same, but around you there is everything you don't want and everything you want. The problem is that what you focus on develops, and we are focused on what we have in mind. What we have in mind is dictated by our emotions, and our emotions, we don't really control them most of the time. So how to deal with that? That's the very important question. One thing which is extremely essential to understand, something I've discovered years ago now, but it's when you are in a situation, the situation you're in, basically you perceive it with through your emotions. And the problem is that we're always looking for a solution because we feel we struggle, we have difficulties, life is difficult for a lot of reasons depending on the situation. Okay, and we are looking for a solution and we want to find a solution. The problem is that as long as we stay in this situation, we are going to feel we're in struggle and life is difficult. And as long as we feel that, there is no solution. The solution is to be in another life, to perceive things another way, to look at something else. And when you look at something else, your life is just another way. Okay, the situation is the same, but I remind you that in every situation there is everything you don't want and everything you want. It's up to you to choose on which one you're going to focus. Not saying that the other part doesn't exist, but saying I don't mind because there is something I want, and I'm going to focus on that and to develop that. And there I'm happy, and there I'm not. So I choose there. Okay, both exist. Okay, so that's one thing, and there is no path between one and the other. You choose to be either there or there. It's not like a physical place where you have to travel from one place to the other. In our mind, we're focusing on negative things or on positive things, on what we don't want, basically on what we don't want, or on what we don't want or on what we want. Okay, and I'm not saying that you have to be positive for everything. Uh, Once again, I'm really not about the think positive for everything. No, there are negative things, and it's not my life which is negative. This situation is negative, and I choose to focus on what I want, and I'm going to deal with that, as quickly as possible, because that's what I want to develop is there and not there. That's the big difference. I don't say negative things don't exist at all. Okay, so that's one thing, and the other thing is, okay, then how do you do that? You have to focus your mind and to train your mind and to train yourself. And for that, it's good to have routines, to have like practices, things you do consistently every day that just makes you focus on what you want. And that's what I'm doing through different little practices. Very simple, but very effective. Uh, the little thing, so I was little thing in a way I was talking about that prevents me from changing everything right away is that all day long I'm focusing on, well, most of the time, on my negative emotions, my negative stories. Yes, but I'm sad because of that. I'm unhappy because of that. I would like so much this and that, you know, and all those emotions keep me in the side that I don't want and prevents me from being where I want, from building the life I want, from changing things the way I want. And all that, it's up to me. Each time I'm reminding me of things I don't like, of the negative emotions, and they are there because I built them in my past. I built them and I used to live through them. So like an inertia, they come back, and that's just normal. That's what I built. So I have to dismiss them to say, okay, I know what I'm feeling now because I built them, but I don't want them anymore, and I don't put some attention on that anymore. And now here is what I'm building. And so the real key is to, because that's when you say that to yourself, but you're like trapped in your negative emotions, and that's difficult to focus on what you want when you feel negative emotions, negative stories. Okay, so the real key is to be able to focus on the fact that now you change, you focus on what you want. Now you change, you focus on what you want. Now I'm looking at a life I want, and maybe you don't know exactly what it looks like. You have difficulties to imagine what you want, to focus on things but at least, even if you don't have the story you want in your mind, it's difficult to focus on what you want. At least you train yourself to change your focus, to just turn your head. That's the practice now must be above just looking at what I want, is training my mind to turn my head in the direction I want. Even though I don't see clearly what I want, okay, I'm going to build that, and I'm in the process of building that. The thing is, turn your head. Make a habit of, I don't want that, and I want just to imagine what could be my life, what I want, and what I'm developing now, because of what I choose to develop now. So not only imagine what you want and focus on that and develop that, and it's going to develop naturally, but train your mind also to turn your head, to change your mindset, to switch your mindset again and again, because at first you're going to do that a lot. And that's what makes the difference. That habit of turning your head. I say, okay, no to emotions, just inertia, I don't want them anymore. I change my mind, I look at other things, what I want to develop. And that's something I must practice to be better at, and to be more consistent, be more powerful, in my way to build what I want, because I'm going to spend much more time to focus on what I want. Okay, so that's the big trick now, the big thing that I want to develop, so that I improve much more quickly my life. And I'll keep you posted on that, on how it evolves, what I do to to change that. Okay, so as usual, don't hesitate, subscribe to the channel to know more about all that. Don't hesitate to tell me what you think of all that, and go and visit my website, soundscrazy.net. I have much more for you over there. So I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great life. Bye bye.